Hi, welcome to another Maria's Moments. Today it's going to be fun. I'm back at the waterfall. Do you see it? Isn't it beautiful? And I just thought today we'll talk about how do we get everything we want? You know, whether we use the law of attraction or whether we visualize or whether we feel the emotion or whether we pray or whether we write letters during the new moon and then burn them, or what is it we do? Do we, what is it we do? Do we have rituals? Well, manifesting, I think, it's, some people think, oh, surrender, and surrendering is good. But what exactly does surrendering mean? I know when I was first starting out, I thought surrender, oh my gosh, that's like putting up a white flag and just saying, okay, I give up, go ahead, do whatever you're gonna do to me because I surrender. But in fact, that's not what surrendering is all about. Surrendering is maybe surrendering our will, but at the same time, it's not giving up. It's just kind of allowing God, allowing the divine source, allowing our Creator to take over. And still, we have responsibilities. We don't just sit back and lounge and expect somebody else to take care of us. I always thought that was kind of a funny Bible story where the man is lame and he's laying by a river and he's waiting. People will come by and they'll say, he wanted to go into the river for healing. That's what it is. And people would come by and they'd say, can we put you in the water, in the healing water? And he'd say, no. I know God has it all taken care of for me. And so he sat there, he lay there for years and years and years. And then finally he died. And then when he was up in heaven, he said, God, you abandoned me. I was waiting for you to come and help me and put me into the river and for my healing. And God says, excuse me, but I think I sent you a helicopter. I sent you a plane. I sent you a boat. I sent you lots of people. And so anyway, it's just kind of funny because we have to take responsibility. At the same time, we allow God really to control. So we don't do the details. We set the intention and then we do everything we can to manifest it. So we're not resisting, because the law of attraction, I know Esther Hicks talks about resistance. And that's what blocks our manifestation, because we'll say, oh, I really, I want to go to Paris. And then all of a sudden we resist because we say, oh, I can't do it this week because I have this to do and that to do. And, and so what we do is we put up resistance. So, or, oh, I want a wonderful relationship, and somebody wonderful comes into our life, and then we say, oh, but he's got to be this tall, and he's got to have this color hair, and he's got to do this and this, and, he has to do this vocationally. And so we kind of self-sabotage, for sure, in any event. So we don't resist, and we don't fight, and we don't plead, and it's about balancing the energies, like the scale. And balancing the energies with our all-knowing Creator, because when we set the intention, and as Esther Hicks says, is to focus on that intention for at least 17 seconds, the energy kind of lines up, because everything is energy. And I know that's kind of an interesting concept, isn't it? Because we think, oh, praying, we don't even consider that the energy, and yet we are emanating that energy into the universe. So, and sometimes we need help to understand. Uh-oh, what's that noise? Oh, a plane. Oh my gosh. We need help to understand what is it we're doing here, and why are we here, and how are we to get to where we need to be to do what it is we are here to do. And so, and including all the people, all the souls that we come in contact with, whether they're new acquaintances or friends or ones from our past. And sometimes what's very important is that as we change, our environment and all those in our world change as well. Do you hear this? A woman is moving a cart on that tile. Oh my gosh. Anyway, So sometimes we actually need a power wash. We need to hose our environment. And we need to say goodbye to some people if those people bring us down, or if those people maybe were our drinking buddies, or those people wanted to do things that really we realized they just weren't in integrity, or they're not a reflection of who we are now. We might want to upgrade and be with more like-minded people. I know that when if people are gossiping, or if people are doing things that I just can't really deal with, I just don't want to be with them. And going to parties or bars where there's a lot of drinking and smoking and stuff like that, I just can't do it. But at one time I could. Oops. but now, it's I just don't feel good. It's just not the right thing. So we have to align ourselves vibrationally with the new us, the new you. Yeah. And so we say ciao, bye, or in Greek we say addio. And so in The Sound of Music, Julie Andrews and the family, the Von Trapp family in Austria, in Bavaria, they sing that song, and it's so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye. And so sometimes we do have to bid adieu to some people that are no longer energetically aligned with who we choose to be now. And that's good, because we've outgrown them and we continue to improve. So, and it's wonderful if other people see us as models and they want to improve and become like us. At the same time, it's just like with tennis or golf. You want to play with people who are better than you so that you can learn. And so that's what it's important to take note of the integrity and the values of those that we surround ourselves with. And so, here we are in the physical, and we want to be nourished because we're famished, really. And so we can nourish ourselves physically with, overeating or over shopping, or having that chocolate. I know I've nourished myself when I've had, when I've just wanted to kind of curl up and stuff and nothing else would do. It's kind of like having some chocolate or chocolate ice cream or something like that, or listening to some music or reading a book. And then that physically is nourishing for us. It's harder, it's much more difficult, I think, to be able to emotionally fulfill our needs, to nourish us emotionally and mentally and spiritually. Oops. Okay, said low battery. Oh my goodness. So when we nourish ourselves physically, a lot of times it manifests in addictions, because we have that void within us and we don't know how to fill it. And so we think the more we have, the more we can eat, the more we can drink, the more we can buy, the more dysfunctional patterns we engage in. Excuse me. The more satiated we will become. And yet, it's actually quite the opposite, because we never can fill that void in our heart. The only way to fill it is to fill it with the divine. And when we want more friends, and we want to be around more people, I know I used to love my friends. I had lots of friends, and I loved socializing. And it came to a point, though, where I no longer felt that. I no longer felt nourished in that way. And the only thing that could make me feel good about myself and feel more complete, ooh, I'm gonna cry, is when I realized that I'm not alone no matter what, no matter how many people I'm around, and no matter how many things I can buy or places I can go or what I can do. It just didn't do it for me, and that I had to feel a connection to the divine source, to my God, to the energy of all creation. And so that's very important. And so otherwise we stagnate. And so we really need to go within, and in order to shift from the visible world to the invisible world, where instead of surrounding ourselves with friends, we can surround ourselves with angels and our guardian angels, and the energy of knowing that there is something so much greater than anything we could have ever imagined that is right around us, and that is protecting us and guiding us, all the signs and synchronicities and the people that we would have never met, but all of a sudden, we dropped something and they picked it up for us, and all of a sudden, we started a wonderful friendship or whatever that is. And so we meet different people. Oh, there's a Jen in Southern California. Maybe it's the Orange County Airport. Oh my gosh. Oh well. So, and we live beyond the illusion. I hope you can hear me. And the illusion is ego, right? And so when we don't feel tethered to social media and the latest trends and the latest designer this and designer that and the latest must-haves, because all we're doing is we're just trying to satisfy something that isn't satisfied within us. And as we kind of let go of some of those dysfunctional patterns, we get to a higher place of understanding who we are. And, the saying is you can't have a solution to a problem if you are still in the mindset of that you created, of when you created that problem, right? So you have to be in a whole different dynamic before you can really come up with a solution to a problem you had, because otherwise it just doesn't work. So we have to be creative. We have to think out of the box, and we can reevaluate and really check in with our desires for change. So if we were more focused on money, perhaps, maybe now instead of wanting more money or things, we might want an emotionally available partner. Yeah, that would be novel, wouldn't it? Yeah. Or we might want, instead of wanting a Maserati, we might want a clear MRI. If we are dealing with any health challenges. So our priorities have changed. Or instead of going to Paris, we might want to stay home with an ill child, or let's see, what else can I say? Or I had said about instead of wanting to hang out with our friends, we might want to just meditate and connect with our angels. So sometimes we get to that point only after we've been metaphorically beaten down, right? When we've been pummeled, when we suffer, then all of a sudden there's a shift in our priorities and in our perspective. And then we see what really is important, because again, we are here on this planet for such a very short time. And no matter all the stuff that we have, we're not going to be buried with it, right? I mean, unless we're King Tut, and I don't know all the stuff that he had with him. But, it's all meaningless. It's all really garbage, when people die, they end up, like their relatives end up putting all their stuff in garbage bags and letting the Salvation Army truck come. I mean, I've known people that has happened to, and so we don't want to go down that path, because it's just not fulfilling at all, and we never really can connect to a higher power when we're focused on the low vibrational, tangible things of this world that so many of us, that the shopping malls and all the things, that we can spend our time in. And that's one of the benefits of this pause that we have, is that we were to kind of take inventory of what exactly is important. It's our family, it's our friends, it's the emotional connections, it's taking time to be quiet, it's taking time to read and to write and journal and play with our children and our grandchildren. and take long walks holding hands, and just, that looking at someone in their eyes and really connecting with them in that way, instead of what I always thought was kind of sad is when people are sitting at a restaurant, and you see a nice couple from a distance, and then like they never talk. I used to watch that sometimes, and I think, oh my gosh, that's just so sad. Please don't ever let me get to that point, because they were just sitting there eating, and it was like they could have been on other parts of the other corners of the restaurant, or when people are driving in a car and just not talking. And I mean, talking, we don't have to talk all the time, but we do connect. You can tell that somebody is wants to be with you, and you want to be with them, and so you have that energetic chord between the two of you. Yeah, and you're enjoying each other's company. Even if you give somebody a little glance and you see them, and you know that they're there, and they're there for you and with you, and you're there for them and with them as well. And so, let's see. So it's kind of like the greed stuff is just, highly overrated and really gets us into nothing but trouble. And it's, that's the ego, and that's all about me, and I want more, and bigger, better, best, and stronger, strongest, and some, more, and most. It's just kind of just not ever feeling like you have enough. Because you can never have the ultimate. And so just kind of surrendering and serving, and letting the universe bring us gifts. And so we have karmic, we don't need any more karmic lessons. We want karmic gifts. And those gifts are the ones that are bestowed by the angels and the higher divine source. And so those are the gifts that we have in terms of our talents and our abilities, and what are God-given, what are God-given talents and stuff. I mean, you see the virtuosos and their the child prodigies, those are amazing gifts that they've been given, and it's not something you can ever learn, or someone that has a very high IQ, that's God bestowing that on a human being, and that human being is to then take that gift and share it with the world. We're not to just keep it, all to ourselves and just say, oh, this is just mine. No, create music and invent something. If you are an intellectual of that magnitude, of that capacity. And so anyway, the bottom line is just in terms of what can we manifest. It's just, do the best you can, and then relax about it. Let go, and know that there's a higher purpose in everything that we are, everything we have, everything we do, and everyone we meet. And don't resist anything. So don't put out an intention and then all of a sudden try to block it. Just let go and enjoy your life. And I'm so happy to connect with you today. Thank you so very much. And I love you. And I will see you again tomorrow. Namaste.